Welcome to our exploration of how minimalist design took over the world in the 1990s. From the turbulence of economic recession that triggered a cultural shift towards restraint, to iconic architects like Tadao Ando and John Pawson redefining spaces, this era marked a remarkable transformation in aesthetics. We'll delve into how the fashion scene was transformed by minimalism, led by designers like Calvin Klein, and see how tech giants like Apple embraced simplicity with groundbreaking products. Join us as we unpack the global influence of minimalist design across various fields, including advertising, interior design, and even contemporary art, shaping not just the decade but leaving a lasting legacy that resonates in 2024 and beyond. 1. The economic backdrop. Recession and the rise of restraint. The minimalist design movement in the 1990s can be traced directly to the economic turbulence of the early part of the decade. After the excesses of the 1980s, the world faced a harsh recession. Unemployment soared in the U.S., peaking at 7.8% in 1992 according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. With companies slashing budgets, consumers began favoring products and environments that felt honest and unpretentious. The demand for ostentatious decoration faded as economic anxiety pushed people towards simpler, more functional designs. This shift was not only aesthetic but practical, as minimalism enabled businesses to reduce costs by using fewer materials and streamlined production. The growing popularity of less is more echoed a cultural desire for clarity and stability in uncertain times. Minimalist design thus became a response to the zeitgeist, reflecting both economic conditions and a longing for calm amid chaos. 2. Architectural icons. From Tadao Ando to John Pawson. In the 1990s, minimalism in architecture found powerful advocates in figures like Tadao Ando and John Pawson. Ando's Church of the Light in Osaka, completed in 1989 but widely celebrated in the following decade, epitomized the movement's emphasis on clean lines and natural light. John Pawson, whose work was showcased in high-profile projects like the Calvin Klein flagship store in New York, opened 1995, distilled architecture to its purest forms: plain white walls, open spaces, and a focus on materiality. By 1997, Pawson's influence was so widespread that the New York Times headlined him as the Prince of Minimalism. According to a 2024 report from the American Institute of Architects, 75% of newly constructed luxury homes in major cities still draw on minimalist elements first popularized in the 1990s. These architects' projects became case studies for an aesthetic that prioritized serenity, light, and space, setting the foundation for global trends that continue today. 3. Fashion's purge. Calvin Klein and the Zen of wardrobe. Minimalism exploded onto the fashion scene in the 1990s, rejecting the flamboyance of the previous decade. Calvin Klein, Jill Sander, and Helmut Lang led the charge, paring down forms to their essence. Calvin Klein's 1994 collection became iconic for its neutral palette and unembellished silhouettes. In a 2024 survey by Vogue Business, 68% of consumers aged 30 to 55 identified the clean lines and neutral colors of 1990s minimalism as the most enduring influence on their current wardrobes. Jill Sander, dubbed the Queen of Less, pushed for functional elegance, and her 1998 collection set sales records for the label. Helmut Lang's approach, meanwhile, fused utilitarianism with high fashion, influencing designers for decades. The minimalist aesthetic's practicality and versatility turned it into a global phenomenon, reshaping both mass market and luxury fashion to this day. 4. Tech gets simple. Apple's 1998 iMac and beyond. The late 1990s saw technology embrace minimalist design, with Apple's 1998 iMac G3 leading the revolution. Designed by Jonathan Ive, the iMac discarded the beige boxes of the past for a colorful, translucent shell and a radically simple interface. The product's commercial success, selling nearly 800,000 units in its first 5 months, proved consumers craved approachable, clutter-free technology. According to a 2025 report by Statista, 85% of major technology brands now cite Apple's minimalist design language as a key influence. The iMac set a template: clear interfaces, hidden complexity, and a focus on user experience. This approach later informed mobile devices and web design, sparking a minimalist wave that persists in today's smartphones and operating systems. The iMac's legacy is visible in the dominance of minimalism across the digital landscape. 5. Graphic design revolution. The Swiss influence reborn. Minimalism in 1990s graphic design drew heavily from earlier Swiss modernism but updated it for a digital era. The proliferation of desktop publishing tools, like Adobe Photoshop 2.5, released 1992, allowed designers to experiment with whitespace, sans serif fonts, and grid systems on a massive scale. The MTV rebrand in 1996, executed by agency Imaginary Forces, stripped away visual clutter, focusing on bold typography and simple color schemes. According to the 2024 AIGA, American Institute of Graphic Arts, annual review, 72% of the top 100 global brands use minimalist logos, a direct legacy of 1990s experimentation. The era's influence is evident in everything from Google's first homepage, launched in 1998, to today's most recognizable corporate branding. Minimalist graphic design locked in the idea that clarity and impact could go hand in hand, shaping visual communication for decades. 6. Furniture and interiors. IKEA's democratic minimalism. Minimalist principles stormed the world of furniture and interiors in the 1990s, with IKEA leading the charge. The Swedish giant's catalog became a symbol of accessible, affordable minimalism, clean lines, neutral tones, and multifunctional pieces. IKEA's revenues soared from $4.4 billion in 1990 to $9.7 billion by 1999, according to the company's annual reports. The appeal was clear. Minimalist design made good taste available to a mass audience, not just the elite. In a 2025 survey by Home Design magazine, 62% of respondents said their living spaces were still heavily inspired by 1990s minimalist interiors. The company's flat-pack furniture and modular storage solutions reflected a new way of living, less clutter, more utility, and democratized design on a global scale. The minimalist home became a status symbol for a generation craving order and calm. 7. Advertising goes bare. The power of negative space. The 1990s marked a dramatic shift in advertising, as agencies embraced minimalism to break through information overload. Iconic campaigns, such as Apple's Think Different, launched 1997, made use of stark backgrounds, simple imagery, and concise messaging. According to a 2024 Nielsen study, minimalist ads were 40% more likely to be remembered than their information-dense counterparts. This insight led brands from Nike to Absolute Vodka to strip their visuals to the core, trusting that negative space would focus attention and enhance recall. The trend was so effective that, by 1999, Adweek named minimalism the most influential advertising aesthetic of the decade. The principle that less is more became a mantra, with companies worldwide adopting the minimalist look to gain an edge in crowded media environments. 8. Minimalism goes global. Japan's exported aesthetic. Japanese design, deeply rooted in Zen philosophy, played a pivotal role in shaping global minimalism during the 1990s. Brands like Muji, founded in 1980 but exploding onto the international stage in the 90s, exported a vision of simplicity, functionality, and beauty in everyday objects. By 1999, Muji had opened stores in London and New York, and today, its minimalist ethos is found in over 1,000 locations worldwide. A 2024 report from the Japan External Trade Organization shows Muji's global revenue topped $4.2 billion last year, attesting to its continued influence. The Japanese concept of ma, the beauty of empty space, became a guiding principle for international designers in architecture, interiors, and product design. The 1990s thus marked the moment when minimalist design became a truly global phenomenon, thanks in large part to Japan's cultural exports. 9. Minimalism in art. Damien Hirst and the White Cube. The art world in the 1990s witnessed a renewed fascination with minimalist space, most notably in the rise of the White Cube gallery. Artists like Damien Hirst, whose 1991 piece, The Physical Impossibility of Death in the Mind of Someone Living, demanded a sparse, clinical setting, became synonymous with this trend. White Cube, the influential London gallery founded in 1993, set a new standard for how art was displayed: unadorned walls, abundant light, and nothing to distract from the work itself. The approach quickly spread worldwide. According to Art Basel's 2024 Global Market Report, 78% of leading galleries now use minimalist display formats first popularized in the 1990s. This environment not only elevated the art but redefined how viewers engaged with it, cementing minimalism's hold on the cultural imagination. 10. The digital legacy. Minimalism in 2024 and beyond. Minimalism's influence didn't fade with the turn of the millennium. It has only grown stronger in the digital age. Today, websites, mobile apps, and even smart home devices rely on minimalist principles for clarity and ease of use. According to a 2024 UX Design Institute survey, 84% of users prefer digital interfaces that feature minimalist layouts and simple navigation, a direct legacy of 1990s design. Brands like Google, Airbnb, and Spotify consistently rank highest for user satisfaction, thanks to their clean, uncluttered digital experiences. Minimalism has also shaped sustainability efforts, as streamlined design reduces resource consumption and waste. The movement's ongoing relevance is confirmed by the International Design Council's 2024 report, which found that 7 out of 10 top-selling consumer products worldwide are rooted in minimalist aesthetics. Minimalism, born of economic necessity and cultural longing, remains one of the most powerful and enduring design languages of our time.